I never thought betrayal could come wrapped in love. But it did. And it came from the two people I trusted the most. I still remember that descent of rain hanging in the weight of an unopened message sitting in my inbox. I was about to propose to the woman I had loved since college. But before I could, she sent me a crushing text. I can't do this, Daniel. I'm marrying your brother. The world blurred. My fingers went numb around the velvet box in my pocket. I read the message over, trying to make sense of the words. That shattered everything I believed in. That was just the beginning. Rachel and I had been inseparable since our junior year. Late-night drives, whispered dreams, promises of forever she was my home. I had planned everything. A ring, a sunset proposal, a future. But I underestimated my mother. She never approved of Rachel. Me. She would smile in front of her. But behind closed doors, she whispered lies and planted insecurities. Daniel isn't stable enough. He's too much of a dreamer. You need someone secure, reliable. Like Michael. Michael, my older brother, the golden child, the one who always did things right. I was too naive to see what was happening. By the time I realized, Rachel was already wearing his ring, and I was standing of what was supposed to be my life. I confronted Rachel. I needed to hear it from her. Needed some kind of closure. But when I saw her standing in my family's living room, her eyes already had resigned that distant look. I'm sorry, Daniel, she whispered. I love you, but your mother is right. Michael can give me a stable life. He's safe. Safe like love was some insurance policy. Like our years together were a mistake she had to correct. And then there was my mother standing behind her, a satisfied look in her eyes. Michael wouldn't even meet my gaze. I walked out that night and never looked back. I left town. Cut contact. I needed to rebuild to prove to myself the universe that I wasn't the failure they painted me to be. I worked hard, built a name for myself. Turned the pain into ambition. For years I carried Rachel's ghost, wondering if she was happy, if she regretted leaving me. Then fate intervened. It was a business event in a different city. Years later, I was networking, shaking hands when I saw her. Rachel. Except she wasn't the same woman. She looked tired. The sparkle in her eyes was gone. When she saw me, something flickered in her gaze. Longing, something unspoken. Daniel. Her voice was barely a breath. I should have walked away, but I couldn't. Are you happy? I asked, cutting through the small talk. Her silence was the only answer I needed. And just like that, the past came crashing back. We met again in secret. She told me everything. How my mother manipulated her. How she convinced Rachel that I was that Michael was the right choice. And how from the moment she said I do, she knew it was a mistake. I was scared, Daniel, and I let that fear ruin us. She wasn't looking for pity, and I wasn't the same man who once begged for her love. But something still burned between us. I had two choices: walk away or let the past reclaim me. But this time, I wasn't chasing ghosts. If you want to leave, leave, I told her. Not for me. For you, and she did. Rachel left Michael not to be with me, but to finally choose herself. As for me, I had already rebuilt my life. I wasn't the man who needed saving anymore. But sometimes life gives you second chances. And this time, it was Rachel who had to fight for me. Months later, she found me again. Not as the girl who left, but as a woman who knew what she wanted. I don't want safe anymore, she said. I want real. I want us. Maybe love was about timing. Maybe we had to break to truly understand what we had. All I knew was I wasn't afraid anymore. So I reached for her hand. And this time I didn't let go. What would you have done? Have you ever lost someone only to find them again? Let's talk in the comments.